All right, from Bloomington, Indiana, Fox College football is sponsored by AT&T Business. Welcome to Memorial Stadium, where Big Ten play begins right now for these two teams as number 6 Ohio State comes into town to take on the undefeated Indiana Hoosiers. Hi, everybody. I'm Gus Johnson along with my main man, Joel Klatt, and welcome to Bloomington. Ohio State undefeated to start this year. Everybody's making a lot out of Ryan Day and his offense, but it's their defense led by Chase Young that has led the way. As for Indiana, here's a team that finished back-to-back 5 and 7 seasons. They feel that this is the year they're going to punch through and make it in the bowl play, and they also feel, Joel Klatt, that this is the year that they win a big one.
Well, and they've been at the doorstep of that, against the Michigans of the world and the Ohio States of the world, and they just need to make the plays necessary down the stretch, and that's what the coaching staff has really emphasized with this team during the course of this week, that they've been in position and they just need to finish the job. On the other side, Coach just referenced it. I want to see how Ohio State reacts to some on-field adversity, because they have not faced any so far this year. But rest assured, on the road in the Big Ten, some adversity is coming for the Buckeyes today at some point.
Ohio State won the toss, deferred, so IU will receive. David Ellis is the deep man. And they kick it away, fielded inside the 10. David Ellis, and he'll get close to the 20-yard line before being taken down. So that'll bring on Peyton Ramsey, the redshirt junior from Cincinnati, Ohio. He replaces Michael Penix. Penix, the redshirt freshman from Tampa, Florida, out today with an undisclosed injury.
But Peyton Ramsey is very experienced, Gus, and he's a great leader for this team. He started all year a year ago. He was the Big Ten's leading passer coming back this year, but lost the job in fall camp. The important part is, showed his character. He stayed here, did not enter the transfer portal, and it was for an opportunity like this to get back on the field.
First down and 10 at the 20-yard line, and they'll hand it off on first down. Stevie Scott is just swarmed by Devon Hamilton, the senior from Pickerington, Ohio. And you know one thing, Stevie Scott wants to run the football. He's a sophomore from Syracuse, New York.
And he's a big back, 231 pounds, but nowhere to go there as Devon Hamilton got loose in the backfield. This offense for Indiana is really about its wide receivers. They're experienced, they're big, and they want to get them the ball early in this game.
A loss of 2 yards on the play. Ramsey throwing for the first time, and he swings it out wide. Here's Wap Fillior. And Fillior taken down behind the line of scrimmage. Sean Wade with the tackle, and that's another 2-yard loss.
This defense is flying around this year. That's what I've been most impressed with, is their ability to pursue and tackle well. And the secondary in particular, they got a chip on their shoulder for this team and this quarterback specifically, after he threw for 322 yards on him last year in Columbus.
Third down and 14 at the 16-yard line. Ronnie Walker in the backfield. Ramsey steps into his throw. And it's incomplete, intended for Wap Fillior. So 3 and out for IU to start this game. And when we talk to the Indiana coaches, Tom Allen in particular, their main goal is to try to last during the early rounds of this one.
Yeah, Ohio State has been so good in the first quarter this season. They're outscoring their opponents, both FAU and Cincinnati, 35-0 in the opening frame. They come out of there, if you want to take the prize fighter analogy, we heard Tom Allen there talking to his team. This is a team that goes for that knockout blow early in the rounds of the championship fight.
Hayden Whitehead sends it away. DeMario McCall is the deep man. This ball takes a bounce, flag on the play. And it should go against Indiana.
Well, there was definitely some contact there before the ball arrives, so Ohio State's going to have tremendous field position to start this ball game, as Justin Fields will come onto the field.
Kick catching interference on the kicking team, number 21. 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
So that'll bring on Justin Fields, the starting quarterback, transfer from Georgia. In 2 games, he's accounted for 9 touchdowns as a Buckeye, 6 passing, 3 rushing. Very talented dual threat player.
There's no doubt. And yet there's still so much upside to him and so much potential. We really haven't seen him in a critical situation. He's yet to attempt a pass in college football in a one-score game in the second half. You know, so at some point, we're going to find out a lot more about Justin Fields, and Coach was referencing that in the pregame show, but this is just prime territory. Would not be surprised if Ohio State takes a shot early with this great field position.
He'll line up at the 41-yard line of Indiana. J.K. Dobbins in the backfield. And he'll throw it on first down. Sets up the screen. He has Dobbins in the flats, and Dobbins will pick up about 10 yards on the play before being escorted out of bounds by Marcelino Ball.
And J.K. Dobbins is kind of the forgotten guy in this offense, and yet he's the thoroughbred. Everything starts with their run game and getting Dobbins the ball. That's where the play action comes. That's how they get the ball down the field, is that play action pass. So getting him established early is very important.
For first down at the 31. And Dobbins breaking free. Dobbins leans forward. He'll pick up 9.5. Micah McFadden with the tackle. But, hey, Dobbins, he's a Heisman candidate, and he has 232 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns in his first 2 games to prove it.
Hey, did you see that move?
Yes.
He put on Andre Brown, number 14. He just gave him, what was that, little outside shoulder. Didn't even need the dead leg in there, and then bang, he's up the field. What a run.
Gain of 9, 2nd and 1 at the IU 22. Opening series for the Ohio State Buckeyes. Straight ahead, Dobbins looking for the first. And he has it. DeMarcus Elliott with the tackle.
You know, it's not just the defense that starts fast or the skill position players. This offensive line has played really well in their opening series, creating movement, making it easier to run the football.
First down to the 19. Another handoff to Dobbins. Another hole for Dobbins. And he's chopped down as he gets through. Brian Fitzgerald with the tackle after 4-yard gain.
Yeah, and this defense, they're going to have to find some way to create pressure, because their down 4 linemen have not really shown the ability to get to the passer during the course of the first couple of games. So they're going to blitz. They're going to blitz often to try to put pressure on Justin Fields. But the hard part when you're doing that is you're trying to get them off schedule, and Gus, it just doesn't happen a lot because of that run game, in particular early in the game. Ohio State does a great job of creating 2nd and short, 2nd and 6 or shorter, which they are in right now.
J.K. Dobbins, first Buckeye in history to rush for over 1,000 yards in both his freshman and sophomore seasons. Another 1,000-yard season would match the 3 compiled by the legendary Archie Griffin, who was the only 2-time Heisman winner in college football history.
Don't have a good idea why the stoppage. It looked like some sort of official stoppage. What happened here is we're being told that the umpire in the game, who stands right behind the linebackers of the defense, he got cut in the ear during one of these plays, and he had to leave the game. So now the backup official, excuse me, is in the game right away, and they have one ready to go on the sidelines.
2nd down and 6 at the 15-yard line. Can this Indiana defense hold Ohio State to a field goal attempt? Fields looking, goes through his progressions in the end zone and incomplete. He's going after his tight end, Luke Farrell. That one's sailing a little high and wide, and it'll bring up a 3rd down and 6.
If there was one area where I think Justin Fields can improve the most, it's when he's in the pocket, Gus, and throws the ball over the middle of the field. It tends to be high. Lots of wide receivers reaching over their head during the first couple of games, so that's an area where he certainly needs to improve.
3rd down and 6 at the 15 for Fields. Opening drive for Ohio State. Here's Fields under pressure. Fields guns it, and it's incomplete. And we talked to the Indiana defense yesterday. Chris Olave, the intended receiver. They said they were going to definitely bring pressure, Joel, on 3rd down.
Almost every 3rd down is what they said, that they'll see some sort of pressure, and that they've held a lot of their creative style blitzes that Ohio State has not seen on film yet. Fields is able to dance away, and he's got Olave there. He just gives him a ball that's a little bit too far out in front.
So Blake Hobia, the junior from Buffalo, in to attempt a 32-yarder, and he missed it. That is a victory for the Hoosiers.
No doubt about it. What a stand inside the red zone for Tom Allen's crew. And it gets this crowd to come alive a little bit. It wasn't going well for Indiana until that defense bowed their neck. And wide right, Indiana with the ball.
Time now for Progressive Insurance Game Flow. Here in Bloomington, Indiana, Ohio State and IU. It's been a long time, Joel Platt, since the Hoosiers have defeated this Ohio State team.
Whew. We're talking about late 80s. Maybe that's why they brought up Buster Douglas.
That's right.
It goes all the way back to that era.
Their theme today for Indiana, they like to use a boxing theme. Last week they were Sugar Ray Robinson. They wanted an early knockout. This week they're Buster Douglas. They want to make sure they don't get knocked out early. Here's the pass to Ronnie Walker in the flats. Tries to make a move and is wrestled down quickly at around the line of scrimmage. Pete Werner, first man to him.
That's going to be tough. They're certainly going to have to channel their inner Buster Douglas and sustain some of these early blows. This defense, Gus, is so fast. Going side to side is not going to cut it. They're going to have to get north and south, go up the field against Ohio State.
Second down and 10, play action. Ramsey sets up, looks backside, nothing doing. Guess who? Chase Young, the junior from Upper Marlboro, Maryland, who they say could be a top 3 pick if the season ended today. That's a loss of 3.
And there's just no doubt about that projection. He's an unbelievable player right there. The recognition, diagnosing that throwback screen pass, he was right there, and Indiana has gotten nothing going so far. This is where you got to be aware of where Chase Young is. You've got third down. It's an obvious passing situation. He's the defensive end at the top of the screen.
Third down and 13, Ramsey near sideline. Just let it fly, and it's incomplete. That one intended for Nick Westbrook, so back-to-back 3 and outs for the Hoosiers as they're forced to punt it away. Chase Young with 3 sacks already. He's averaging a sack and a half a game.
And it's more than that, though. You know, that shows up in the stat book. But what Indiana knows and what all of their opponents will know is that Chase Young affects the game on almost every single snap. He's great against screen passes, which we've already seen. He's very good against the run. And then every time you're in an obvious down situation where you got to throw the ball, you have got to account for it.
Mario McCall, the deep man, ready to return it for the Buckeyes as he backpedals, picks it up at the 30, tripped up and goes down at the 32. That's a 52-yard punt. And only a 1-yard return. Tywan Mullen grabbed his ankle. Coming up, though, Justin Fields back on the field to lead the Big Noon Saturday is presented by AT&T Business, providing edge-to-edge intelligence. And sponsored by Duluth Trading Company. Tough, ingenious workwear designed and tested by tradesmen. Defensive battles so far. Ohio State and Indiana 0-0 here in the first quarter. Terrific day. Hot and humid here in Bloomington. High supposedly 81 to 82 degrees, 63% humidity. Let's see if that's a factor as this one goes on. 1st and 10 at the 32 for Ohio State. They'll hand it off to Dobbins with all sorts of running room. J.K. Dobbins gets upfield. Alan Stallings trips him up.
Yeah, the first down plan for Ohio State is get the ball to J.K. Dobbins, and also off of that action, throw the little bubble screens, and then they can get into the bulk of their offense.
Play fake. Fields rolls out of the pocket, takes his time, throws on the move, and incomplete. That one out of bounds. I think it's interesting when you look at J.K. Dobbins and how he got to Ohio State. He was offered a scholarship to play for the Buckeyes, didn't even visit campus. He knew. He's from LaGrange, Texas. He said, yep, I'm going. No need to send me up there. I want to be a Buckeye.
Well, there are certain brands around the country that offer that type of mystique and prestige, and this is certainly one of them. J.K. Dobbins has done a marvelous job in the first 2 years of his career here as a Buckeye and put himself right in the middle of some names that are just legendary names like Archie Griffin and the likes of Eddie George, and none of those players ran for 1,000 yards in both their freshman and sophomore year. They are going to take a look at this last play to see if potentially Chris Olave got that left foot down. Oh my goodness, it looks like he did. Naked eye, I thought he was certainly out. But it's that right foot, excuse me, as he's stepping out. Watch, does that stay down? Secure, toe on the ground. That's absolutely a catch. Wonderful stoppage from the replay officials here. Dennis Lipsky is our replay official up here in the booth.
Chris Olave, such an interesting story. Ryan Day was recruiting a quarterback who's in the building in San Diego, and he discovered Chris Olave.
Yeah, Mission Hills High School, and there was a very highly recruited quarterback named Jack Tuttle. And Jack Tuttle would end up committing to and going to Utah before ultimately transferring here to Indiana. Well, Jack Tuttle's wide receiver that day was a lightly recruited player named Chris Olave. He flashed that day, and Ryan Day thought, tell you what, we need to figure out more about Chris Olave, and our Buckeye fans happy that they did. Last year in the game against Michigan, he had a blocked punt, he had 2 touchdowns, he was absolutely tremendous. And Gus, this is a guy that not only the fan base but also the coaching staff has said can be an absolute star in a Buckeye uniform.
He's put on some weight during the offseason, spent a lot of time in the weight room, 7 catches in the early going coming into this game, including tying his career high with 5 receptions in the opener against Florida International.
He's an explosive guy.
After further review, the receiver did have 1 foot down inbounds, and he controlled the ball. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 45.
I tell you, that's wonderful concentration, because it was an errant throw. You know, you want that on the frame of the wide receiver, right in his body at the sideline, and Justin Fields was leading him out of bounds, and he had the wherewithal and the patience, Gus, to keep that right toe down until he knew he had the ball. Great hands that he flashed there catching that rock. And Ohio State now is in business on the plus side of the 50.
That'll be a gain of 18 yards, 1st down at the Indiana 45. 2nd series for the Buckeyes. J.K. Dobbins remains in the backfield for Ohio State. Dobbins straight ahead. And he'll lean forward and pick up positive yardage. The Indiana coaches said they're not really worried about Dobbins running between the tackles, but they are worried about him getting outside.
Yeah, the scare is when Dobbins breaks it and gets to the 2nd level. That's when he becomes so dangerous and elusive.
5'10", 217 pounds. Fields on quarterback run. Gets outside, turns it up, and picks up a 1st. I was on the field before the game, Joel, and had a chance to stand next to Justin Fields. I didn't realize how, not only is he tall, he's a legit 6'3", but he's thick. This guy, look, he could play linebacker if he had to.
Yeah, he's legitimately 225 pounds. You can just see the difference between he and J.K. Dobbins in the backfield. Justin Fields is, you know, as the players like to say, he's a man back there.
1st down at the 33. Fields guns it over the middle, and it's caught. K.J. Hill, the senior from Little Rock, Arkansas, taken down by Raekwon Jones.
What a wonderful job here from Fields. Watch as he's just patient, and he's going to allow K.J. Hill to come into that secondary hole in the zone coverage. Delivers a great ball there for a 1st down.
Ohio State having no problems moving the football as Dobbins picks up 7 on the play.
You see how on 1st down, Gus, the tempo is quicker. They get the ball to Dobbins right away, and they get themselves in these 2nd and manageable situations. This is when they can be aggressive as a play caller for Ryan Day with Justin Fields in the. And also, you got getting him outside of the pocket is when he's most dangerous, and they like to do that once they get inside the 15-yard line.
Dobbins again with a big hole. Dobbins breaking tackles. Dobbins finally cut down inside the 5. Well, Indiana said they weren't as worried about him running between the tackles. Maybe they should be.
They should, because this offensive line is covering up all the Indiana hats. Hats on hats, player for player. And then Dobbins breaks a tackle in the middle of that defense. That's been a problem for Indiana all year. And he gets the ball inside the 5.
Dobbins, 7 carries, 41 yards. Buckeyes knocking on the door. 1st and goal at the 3. Play fake. Fields rolling wide open. Oh, Oh, incomplete. Dobbins took his eyes off the football. He had an easy touchdown. Rare mistake for the junior.
When it's so easy, it becomes hard. Dobbins is wide open. Everybody bites on the play fake, and it just bounces off his hands. Oh my goodness, maybe it's a little out in front of him, but he's certainly got to catch that, and he absolutely knows it.
Second down and goal to the 3-yard line. Jeremy Ruckert, the motion man. Fields keeps it. Touchdown, Ohio State. .7:28 to go in the first quarter. Justin Fields.
It's just an excellent job. Watch him read the defensive end. Fields is going to come out, and then right there you're going to get him reading the defensive end, and then it's a very easy walk to the end zone as he's going up the field, and boom, he finds his way in the red paint. Touchdown, Buckeyes.
4th rushing touchdown of the year for Justin Fields. Blake Haubeil in for the extra point, and it's good. Ohio State goes on a 9-play, 68-yard drive. They hold it for 2 minutes and 56 seconds. And the dynamic Justin Fields pays it off with the rushing touchdown. 7-0, Bucks. Postcards from Fansville, sponsored by Dr. Pepper, the official drink of Fansville on the campus of Indiana University. And I tell you, they have put a lot into this football program. We had a chance to visit yesterday, and there's some new facilities here, and it's spectacular looking. From the 5-yard line, David Ellis. And Ellis with some running room crosses the 25 and gets up to the 30. Time now to go down to the All-American girl on the sideline. Here's Jenny Tabb.
Well, guys, Joel, I want to take a moment here to go back to quarterback Peyton Ramsey, his leadership, what he means to this team. I asked some of his teammates yesterday. Well, captain and receiver Nick Westbrook said this guy, the last 2 weeks, nothing has changed in terms of his leadership. He is such a presence on our offense. And, Joel, you briefly mentioned it, but because there was never a doubt that he would lead this team, Nick said it meant everything to them. And Coach Allen told us it was never something Ramsey didn't do. It was the potential of Penix, saying Ramsey has done everything right here.
All right, thank you very much, Jenny. 1st and 10 at the 30. Right now, he's trying to figure out a way to move the ball against this tough Ohio State defense. Ramsey in the pocket, underneath, and it's caught. This time, wow, Fillior, and he gets drilled. Out of bounds, Jeff Okudah, who some consider the #1 defensive back that will be taken in the draft this year.
Well, he's certainly talented, and one of the things that I'm most impressed with Jeff Okudah is his willingness to be physical, and you saw it right there on the sideline with Whop Fillior. Although, hey, let's throw some credit Indiana's way. That's their first play of positive yardage today, so maybe they got something going.
2nd down and 4 at the 36. Ramsey again over the middle this time. Caught at midfield. Nicely done. Peyton Hendershot. Now IU starting to get a little rhythm.
This is where you can attack Ohio State, is in the middle of the field in those intermediate zones. They're playing a little bit more zone coverage than they did a year ago.
Cover 3, right?
That's right. And FAU, Florida Atlantic, did some damage with their tight ends, and I expect Peyton Hendershot to potentially have a big day today.
1st down in midfield.
Look at you talking. It's cover 3. I love it.
I'm talking to you.
Love it.
I hang with you. I listen to you, partner. I'm coachable. Here's Ramsey. Play fake, looking near side. Caught. 1st down. Donovan Hale. A gain of 12.
This matchup is really favoring Indiana, as good as the corners are for Ohio State, and they're really good. Damon Arnett, Jeff Okudah. You've got a couple of outside receivers for Indiana with great size. 6'4", 218, Donovan Hale, number 6, and on the other side, 6'3", 219, Nick Westbrook.
Gain of 6 yards, 14 yards, 12 yards on the last 3 plays for IU. Empty backfield for Peyton Ramsey. On 1st down at the 38. Ramsey near side again, caught, not out of bounds. Peyton Hendershot.
You know, those first 2 series of the game, Gus, you saw Indiana come out and play conservative. They're trying to run the football early in the down set, and you can tell they scrapped that and said, nuh-uh, we're going to do what we do best, which is throw the football. Tom Allen talked to us about that's the one thing that he believes in the most with this offense is their ability to throw the rock, in particular with Ramsey and these skilled wide receivers. They came out here, they needed a drive. What'd they do? Right to the pocket passing game, trying to attack this secondary.
Ramsey 4 for 4 on this drive. 2nd and 7 at the 35. He'll throw it again. Now steps up, wants to run it, tucks it, all sorts of room. First down, and he'll get out of bounds at the OSU 15. That's a 20-yard gain. Now, you know, Peyton Ramsey has 2 brothers, Montana and Drew. So it's Peyton, Montana, and Drew.
And he does a great job here. He sees the lane, and now he's down the sideline, getting a huge positive gain. Indiana got away with a little penalty there, not a little one, a big one. That would have been hands to the face on Coy Cronk, the left tackle, who had his left hand way up in the face of Chase Young, the defensive end, as he was rushing around. But they did not catch it, and now Jeff Okudah, the great corner that we were just talking about, is shaken up at the end of the play.
So his 2 brothers named after Joe Montana and Drew Bledsoe. Peyton named after Peyton.
No pressure.
Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by Toyota. Let's go places. The last time Indiana beat Ohio State came in 1988, led by running back Anthony Thompson, who rushed for 190 yards and 4 touchdowns. It was Indiana's first win at home versus the Buckeyes since 1904.
I believe that Earl Bruce called that the darkest day in Ohio State football. Or was that the year before? I think it was the year before in Columbus. That's right.
First down and 10 at the 15-yard line. For Indiana, empty backfield for Ramsey. Looking. Ramsey off his back foot, and he sails this one out of bounds. Intended for Hendershot again.
And they finally got some pressure on Ramsey on this series. It was Chase Young came on a loop. He was right in the face of Ramsey as he tried to let that ball go.
New offensive coordinator at IU.
That's right. Kalen DeBoer. He comes in. He has had a lot of success at a lot of different places, most recently at Fresno State in their turnaround. Double-digit wins the last couple of seasons, and he certainly believes in this passing game, and they've utilized it on this series.
2nd and 10 at the 15. Ronnie Walker in the backfield. Ramsey floats it in the end zone. And incomplete. Donovan Hale, the intended receiver. Damon Arnett covering. And that brings up 3rd and 10.
Just such good coverage. I mean, listen, Hale makes a great effort at this ball, a great effort. But watch as Arnett attacks the football once it's in the hands of Hale and knocks it out. I mean, excellent job by both players. And that ball was perfectly thrown, by the way, from Peyton Ramsey. That's where it's got to be, as he was trying to give the Tyree catch against the helmet.
Arnett flirted with going to the NFL, but got a lecture from our Chris Carter, the Hall of Famer, came back and is looking good. 3rd and 10 at the 15. Ramsey underneath, caught, but not enough for a first down as Hendershot hauls one in. Once again, Pete Warner rides him down. So what do you do here, Joel? Do you take the 3 points?
I think you got to take the 3 points because it's been the most positive series that they've had. 3 times they've touched the football. In 2 series, they didn't gain a yard. Now they move the ball down the field. You don't want to leave this series without points. Absolutely, put them on the board.
Logan Justice in to attempt a 29-yard field goal. Left-footed kicker. And perfect. IU on the board. 3:45 to play first quarter. 7-3. Ohio State with the lead. But Indiana showing some signs. Back after this. 3:45 to play first quarter. Ohio State on top of Indiana. 7-3. Gus Johnson along with Joel Klatt, Jenny Taft with you. Coming up next, it's a Pac-12 Big Ten matchup as Arizona State takes on number 18 Michigan State. Remember, Arizona State beat Michigan State last year at home. Then at 8 Eastern, Jalen Hurts in Oklahoma battle UCLA in primetime. Catch it all on Fox and the Fox Sports app.
How about Jalen Hurts?
Man. How about Lincoln Riley? He is the quarterback whisperer.
I'll tell you what, that guy, I think the two best offensive coaches in the sport are Lincoln Riley
and Ryan Day.
That's
if you look at the NFL, I watched the Ravens last week, and I saw a man by the name of Marquise Brown who played at Oklahoma.
No, whoa.
What do you mean?
By the name of what?
Marquise Brown.
No. He goes by Hollywood. I'm going to call him Hollywood.
Hollywood. It looked like they were running the same thing, the Ravens, for Hollywood in Baltimore, as Lincoln Riley ran last year in Norman.
And it's smart of John Harbaugh, you know, to incorporate some of that stuff. Now, you can't just run a college offense, so there's more to it, certainly. But Lamar Jackson having that arm that he does on the quick release, and
looks like Randall Cunningham 5.0.
And he's got the speed on the outside now with Hollywood. Lights, camera, action, man. I mean, it was a thing of beauty watching him now. It was against the Miami Dolphins.
It's okay. First down.
They get paid too.
A win is a win. Here's Fields rolling out. He'll tuck it and get out of bounds. So let's go back to what we talked about at the beginning of the game, partner. For Indiana, they said, we want to be Buster Douglas. We want to stay in this fight as long as we can. If we can last through the early rounds, we feel Ohio State will have a letdown.
Well, and they had to answer because, you know, the opening round of this, you know, so-called fight was going Ohio State's way. They had to come out and answer them. They did so on that series. Now it's incumbent. Once you sting the champ in the Big Ten, you got to stay in there. This is a big series for this defense to prove that they can force a punt from Ohio State, because the only reason Ohio State hasn't scored on both of their series is the missed field goal.
So a 3rd down and 3 for the Buckeyes at the 32. They run it looking for the first down, and Dobbins has it as he plants his foot in the ground and picks it up. Michael McFadden with the tackle.
I really love what Ryan Day is doing offensively. This is a new wrinkle that we're seeing this year from Ohio State, and it's the ability. Have you noticed they'll go with very quick tempo, and then they'll put Justin Fields under center like they're doing right now. What they like to do out of this is simple zone running concepts and then play action pass off of that with Fields.
First down to the 39. Fields sets up deep in the pocket, winds up, and a catch. Austin Mack laying out for it and managing to keep his feet in bounds for a 14-yard gain.
There they went right to the play action pass, created a one-on-one on the outside, and Austin Mack makes his quarterback right. Looks like that left toe was in bounds as he was coming down.
So first down at the 47 for the Buckeyes. They'll hand it off. This time it's Master T, redshirt freshman from Murfreesboro, Tennessee. When you look at Fields throw the ball, Joel, does he have a big windup?
Yeah, it's a lengthy delivery. There's certainly quicker deliveries out there. A lot of things can work, but I think his high right elbow, when he brings the ball back and cocks it and ready to throw, the fact that his right elbow is high and leads it back, I think that's the reason he throws the ball above the heads of his wide receivers over the middle of the field.
Dancing in the pocket now, looking, under pressure, flag on the play, gets it away across the field and incomplete. Rashad Berry, closest man to the football. Looks like this penalty will go against Ohio State.
There was a lot of time back there and a lot of time for the offensive line to block. Good pressure from Marcelino Ball. This one will go against the Buckeyes.
Indiana telling us that they felt.
Legal block in the back. Offense, number 73. 10-yard penalty from the previous line of scrimmage. Replay. Second down.
Here's what's interesting here is watch this as the play is going on. You know, that's illegal. It's a great call by the official. As Jonah Jackson, the transfer from Rutgers, was going back, Marcelino Ball was right in front of Fields, and he just hits him right blatantly in the back when Ball was in position to make a play. Excellent call by the official.
Second down and 17 after the penalty. Indiana coaches telling us that they felt the right side of that Ohio State line is a little weak, and that's where they wanted to attack. We'll see if that happens. Fields guns it underneath, and it's caught. Benjamin Victor taken down by Bryant Fitzgerald.
And here's that situation that they wanted to attack in. Gus, they said that on every single third down, they would be bringing some sort of pressure. A lot of those pressures and blitzes have man coverage behind them. We'll see if Ohio State can win.
3rd down and 7 at the 44. Can Indiana get off the field is the question. Dobbins lines up in the backfield with Justin Fields. Here's Fields under pressure. Throws it up high and incomplete. Olave couldn't haul it in. You saw that pressure from IU, and they'll force the Buckeyes to punt it away.
They brought him from everywhere, and Olave was wide open. Fields certainly is tough throw, and he's fading away at this point, but this is one he's going to want back because Olave is wide open. All he's got to do is put the ball on the frame of the wide receiver, but again, he misses high. That's Fields' tendency. When throwing the football, he misses high. He's already thrown now 8, 9 different passes high during the course of the season. Coming in, he had 7 inaccurate throws over his wide receiver's head.
Drew Chrisman angling it toward the sideline, and out of bounds goes Whop Philyor. And now a quick message from Duracell.
New Duracell Optimum. Extra life in some devices or extra power in others versus copper top.
And you talked about Justin Fields finishing high. Why do quarterbacks finish high?
Well, they don't finish the throw. So you'll hear Tom Brady a lot talk about wanting the C, his hand. If you're cupping the football, it's a kind of a C. He wants that C pointed at the logo of his helmet. Well, that means his fingers are on top of the ball. You can pull that ball, create RPMs, and get it on a downward trajectory over the middle of the field. And when you're a U thrower and your hand is in a U pointing straight up, what happens is the ball floats on you and it goes high.
Ramsey threw that one. Close quarters, flag on the play. Ty Freifogel, the intended receiver. Looks like this may go against Damon Arnett.
You see the coverage on the outside. Arnett working against Freifogel, and that left hand had a little bit of a grab before that ball arrived.
Pass interference. Defense, number 3. The ball being placed at the spot of the infraction. Automatic. First down.
And Freifogel is another one of these guys with good size on the outside. He's 6'2", 204 pounds. These corners have good length. Arnett's 6 foot, 195. Okuda is 6'1", 200. So these are big bodies on the outside getting after it today.
1st and 10 of the 18. Another empty backfield for Peyton Ramsey. Ramsey settling in now. Far side. Here's a Whop. Whop Philyor. The reason they call him Whop because he loves Whoppers from Burger King.
And he got that name way back as a kid. His affinity for Burger King Whoppers. And it stuck. Whop Philyor has certainly done a nice job this year. He's had 10 catches coming in to today's ball game and provides them with a lot of energy. That's what they look to him as, that spark plug. He's the slot receiver, and he can take it the distance in a hurry with that elusiveness.
And that'll take us to the end of the first quarter. Indiana will take it. Ask Tom Allen. We're in the fight, folks. We're in the fight, guys. We have the number 6 team in the nation at our house, and we're playing with them. 7-3 Bucks. Fox College football is sponsored by AT&T Business Memorial Stadium in Bloomington, Indiana. At the end of the first quarter, Ohio State on top of IU 7-3. Gus John and Joel Clayton partner. If you're Indiana, you have to feel really good about where you are right now.
There's no doubt. Those opening 2 series, they had nothing going. They were trying to run the ball a little bit on first down. You can't do that against Ohio State. Yeah. So what did they do? They came out and leaned on their strength, throwing the football. I think they'll probably give some token runs here and there, but this is going to be a 50 attempt day for Peyton Ramsey. It's going to be through the air for Indiana.
This time, Stevie Scott trying to lean forward and pick up the first down. Gain of 2. Stevie Scott originally committed to Rutgers, got hurt, decommitted. Mike Hart, who's from Syracuse, their running backs coach at IU, said, Stevie, why don't you come to IU? And I tell you what a great find. Some people feel that he is a pro in the making.
And when Cole Guest, the starter last year, got injured in the first game towards ACL, Stevie stepped in as a true freshman. Like you said, he had a great year.
Ramsey, broken play. Can he get there? No, he cannot. Nicely done. Pete Warner stops him from picking up the first down.
You know, that's overthinking it, Gus, on the last 2 play calls. You know, this is what I would say to a play caller: you don't get bored with your offense, right? If something's working, make them stop it before you go away from it. And on those last 2 plays, they went away from that drop back passing game, which had been so successful over the last series. And then even at the beginning of that series, they handed off, kind of a token handoff, try a little spinner fake with their quarterback, and now they have to punt it away.
So Hayden Whitehead will punt it away from the 11 to Mario McCall, the deep man. And he'll come up to field it and has it at the 37, 36-yard punt. So Ohio State comes back on the field with decent field position as we start the second quarter. Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Wendy's, proud partner of the NCAA. College football is back, and so are spicy nuggets. 7-3, Ohio State on top of IU. College hoops is just around the corner, and FS1, has a big one in store for you in December. The Cleveland Classic will pit Ohio State against West Virginia. The Big Ten facing off against the Big 12. Sunday, December 29th, exclusively on FS1. Tickets are now on sale at RocketMortgageFieldhouse.com. First down and 10 at the 37-yard line. J.K. Dobbins running it. And Dobbins will pick up a couple. DeMarcus Elliott plugging up the hole for Indiana.
Yeah, nice job there by the run defense for Indiana. They've been allowing too much yardage on those easy first down runs. Now they're going to force Fields to play behind schedule here on a 2nd and long, Gus.
They need 8 yards. Dobbins again, and he'll submarine forward. But you can see the confidence starting to grow for this Indiana defense.
Well, that's what they talked about. Their defensive coordinator, Kane Womack, talked about how if they could sustain the first few punches, he felt like as the game went on, his guys would get better and better and better. We'll see if that plays out.
3rd down and 3 at the 44. And Fields throws it. Nothing to lose here. Incomplete. Olave, the intended receiver, that one off his fingertips, but this should be offside against Indiana.
Yeah, excellent job by Justin Fields here. Going with
Offside. Defense, number 92. 5-yard penalty will result in the first down.
You know, and the new style here is they're not doing it with their voice. See how he faked the clap? He just faked the clap, and then he kind of waited for that snap, got the jump, and then did the exact thing you should. Take the shot down the field on the free play, and Olave was just not able to corral that ball in.
Justin Fields, highest ranked quarterback in the history, rated quarterback in the history of Ohio State, coming into this season. Dobbins plunging forward. Alan Stallings with the tackle. Trevor Lawrence, the Clemson quarterback, national champion, Heisman candidate, the #1 player. Second down and 2 at the 43. Dobbins again. And Dobbins tackle for a loss. Great pressure. And James Miller, first man to him.
Unblocked in the middle of that defense. What a great job by Miller, and now Indiana's got a shot to get off the field.
Here comes the blitz.
Oh,
Dobbins off the field. Master Teague replaces him. They hand it to Teague. Can he get the first down? Yes, and more. Master Teague read that well and picks up a first down. A 7-yard gain on 3rd and 3.
That's a great job by Jake Hausman and Rashad Berry, the tight ends on the outside. Look at these blocks on the outside, sealing everything up. And now Teague, once he sees that there's no red jerseys on the outside, he just takes off for the chains, and a nice conversion.
Teague remains in the game. First down at the IU 37. Play fake. Fields sets up. Goes for the home run. Down the field. Wide open. Chris Olave. Touchdown Buckeyes. 37 yards.
You're going to see the safety right here. He's going to bite down the field on the big play fake, and now Fields knows he's got Olave wide open, and he throws a great ball to the back of the end zone, and Olave is able to just run under it.
Blake Haubeil in to attempt the extra point, and it's good. So Justin Fields throwing a strike. Olave, smooth, wide receiver. They say it could be the next great one in Columbus. Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by State Farm. Talk to an agent today. And check out Fox Field Pass on our college football, our CFB on Fox social handle, sponsored by Coca-Cola. Share a Coke this football season. What are social handles, Joel? I feel like I'm getting old. That's like Instagram.
Yeah, it's
Twitter.
like at Gus Johnson. Like, you have a Twitter account, you just haven't been on it since I think 2012. I want to tell you from the internet, because this is a general consensus, the internet would like you back on Twitter.
Got no shot. Too old. And they'll get up to the 22-yard line. Let's go down. Certain men of certain age shouldn't be on the internet. Jenny, I know you're on Twitter, and I know you're on Instagram. What do you got?
Guys, I'm trying to get you on social media. Everyone wants to know what you're up to. I'm just going to make sure everyone knows. Well, you know who is a popular guy on social media that everyone can't get enough of? Chase Young. I know you guys have been talking about it, but the Indiana coaches said when he is on the field, you have to know where he is at all times. So I asked Larry Johnson, his D-line coach, today about him, to describe him in one word. He said relentless. And when I asked Chase, he said the biggest change this year is I'm a captain. I need to be a leader. And his teammates say he gives 100% effort. He leads by example to this group.
All right, thank you very much, Jenny. 1st and 10 at the 23. Ramsey will throw it. Winds up, looking deep. And incomplete. Good throw. Nick Westbrook just couldn't hold on as Ramsey threw that one into double coverage.
Great coverage down the field, and they had a clean pocket there, trying to get that big play action, take a shot down the field. Just unable to bring it in is Nick Westbrook. And like you said, that double coverage, that triple coverage, just excellent job by the Buckeye secondary.
2nd down and 10 at the 23. Indiana definitely needs to respond after the 37-yard touchdown strike from Fields to Olave. Ramsey under pressure. Ramsey taken down by Chase Young. 4th sack of the season for the junior from DeMatha in Maryland.
Check out this action, Gus, when he gets to the top of the tackle. He's working on the tackle. Now he starts working with his hands, and that's what Larry Johnson, the defensive line coach, that's what he's a master of, is those counter moves. Working with his hands, getting the hands of the offensive lineman off of you as a defensive player, and then Young is able to get to the quarterback.
Larry Johnson, a legendary high school coach in that Washington, D.C. area. 3rd down and 15 at the 18-yard line. Here's Ramsey. Needs a lot. He's got a receiver. And incomplete. No flag on the play. Walt Fillier, the intended receiver, but Shaun Wade was there defensively.
Wade's in the slot with the coverage, and he gets beat, but the ball is a little bit late. And watch how Wade recovers, and he does an unbelievable job of not making contact with the wide receiver. He doesn't have to turn around. Face guarding is not a thing. That's not illegal. He does not have to turn around. He just can't make contact with the wide receiver. And Tom Allen can yell all he wants, but that was clean and an excellent play by Shaun Wade.
Whitehead punting from inside his own 5, and it's blocked. Out of bounds. Safety for Ohio State. Olave got it again. He did the same thing last year in the Michigan game, which resulted in a touchdown.
Speed, speed, and more speed.
Nickel formation on the kicking team. Penalties decline. The result of the play is a safety.
He came off of the left side of that punt team. He was unblocked, and then here he goes. He's got the free run at the punter, and here's Chris Olave. Boom! Blocks it out of the back of the end zone. Flashing those wheels. Olave with the touchdown, and then the punt for a safety.
Chase Young blocked a field goal last week against Cincinnati. Now Chris Olave blocks a punt, which results in a safety. Ohio State looking really crisp on special teams.
And there's a certain Mr. Meyer back in Los Angeles that has got a grin ear to ear right now, because when we used to go talk with Urban as the head coach of the Ohio State Buckeyes, that's all he wanted to talk about was the special teams.
A couple years ago, they couldn't kick it off right.
Oh, and he was hot about it.
Yes, he was.
He was mad about it. When their kickoff team wasn't great, he was upset.
Buckeyes would take over at around the 24-yard line to Mario McCall. And Chris Olave, what a talent. And look at what he's been doing today.
Well, this was that great catch on the sideline that they went back and awarded him in replay. That was tremendous. Then he gets past the defense with that speed, and then he continues to show the speed, and he gets the block punt. You've got to account for him. That's 2 blocks in his punt return career. Last year against Michigan, he got one. Now he gets one here against Indiana. This guy is a game changer. When you can throw that type of speed on the field, athleticism on the field. Back in high school, he was a 10-800-meter guy. He could long jump, Gus, 23-6. He's explosive, and Ohio State does a great job of putting him in position to succeed.
Meanwhile, the flag on the play. Remember, Chris Olave is only a sophomore.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
So talking to Ryan Day before the game, I asked him, so what do you think? How you playing? He said, well, thank goodness our defense is great. I think it's going to take a little bit more time for our offense to mature into what I think they can be.
Well, and I think that's understandable, because one, Justin Fields is very young and inexperienced, and two, this is a different style of offense than they had to use last year with Dwayne Haskins, who would chop you up from the pocket. This is a different style, much more like the J.T. Barrett style of offense of a couple of years ago.
Here's Dobbins bursting through the hole. Watch out. J.K. Dobbins cuts it back. Can he get a block? He doesn't, but he'll go down inside the Indiana 25. J.K. Dobbins stopped by Brian Fitzgerald and Raheem Lane after a gain of 56.
Great vision from J.K. Dobbins. Watch as he gets to the left side, sees the hole. Now he follows Jonah Jackson with a great block down the field. And then he gets a stiff arm down the field for more yardage.
Here's Fields, and he's sacked from behind. Nicely done by Alan Stallings. That's a loss of 5, maybe 6 yards.
That was a great job by the secondary, because the bubble screen is what he's wanted to throw. He wanted to throw it out there, and then he had to hold the ball, but you cannot hold the ball when you're trying to execute the quick bubble screen to the opposite side, because that offensive line is not accounting for the in man on the line of scrimmage. They're just kind of turning and hinging, and that's a recipe for a sack, which just happened.
Master Teague remaining in the game for J.K. Dobbins. 2nd down and 15 at the 29. Fields to throw. Fields dancing. Fields lets it go. And he throws a dart to the far side. Complete. Benjamin Victor ran a great route and picks up 20.
Yeah, and that was an adjustment, Gus. And they've talked a lot about the fact that this is a guy in Justin Fields that can make the pocket extend the play. And so these wide receivers at times have to get back to the quarterback, extend their route. That's what Benjamin Victor just did for the completion.
1st and goal at the IU 9. Dobbins back in. Pump fake. Fields. End zone. Incomplete. Austin Mack was open. Fields just couldn't put it on him.
Great play design, and he was just feeling a little pressure in the middle of that pocket from Shamar Jones, number 96, who was bearing down on him in his face, and he kind of had to release that before he wanted to, and Mack just unable to corral it.
2nd down and goal of the 9. Dobbins with a 56-yard run on this drive. Fields. Touchdown Buckeyes. This time it's KJ Hill. Justin Fields, 2 passing touchdowns and a rushing touchdown. And the Ohio State Buckeyes take a huge lead.
Watch as KJ Hill, he kind of forces his way inside before he takes off back and goes to the outside. So he gains leverage, he creates space, and then that allows him to just burst with speed out to the outside. And Fields with an excellent throw. That's an easy touchdown for Ohio State. What a drive there from the Buckeyes.
Lake Hallbeal with the extra point. And it's good. First road game of the season for Ohio State. And they come out looking sharp. This time, it's KJ Hill. Ohio State up big here in Bloomington. Before NFL games kick off tomorrow on Fox, download the Fox Sports Super 6 app and play Super 6 NFL Sunday for free and for a chance to win $250,000 of Terry Bradshaw's money. (23-3). Ohio State. Buckeyes have scored 16 points in less than 3 minutes. David Ellis from the goal line. And David Ellis will go down around the 18, maybe the 19-yard line. Let's go to Sam Farber in Los Angeles for a game break.
Number 13 Penn State hosting Pitt after a 40-minute weather delay. Nittany Lions go on a 98-yard drive. Freshman Devin Ford covers the final 3 feet for the score. Penn State's first matchup with a Power 5 opponent this season. So far so good, up 7-0 entering the second quarter. Back to Gus and Joel in Bloomington.
All right, thank you very much, Sam. I tell you what, the Big Ten this season, especially with the heavyweights, is going to be very interesting. We've got a big-time game next week as Michigan goes to Wisconsin.
That's going to be a huge one. Wisconsin yet to give up a point this season. They've outscored their opponents 110-0.
First down and 10 to the 19-yard line underneath, and it's caught. Nicely done. Walt Phillier, and he'll get out of bounds close to midfield. A 28-yard gain.
And he's wide open because Jeff Okudah, who was following him, he got kind of tripped up, hit his own player. Arnett and Okudah ran into each other. Walt Phillier was wide open, and Indiana does what they need to do. They went back to the short passing game on first down. When they've tried to run the ball or throw it down the field on a low percentage pass, those have winded up in punts all 3 times. Every time they've come out and tried to chop them up with this short passing game over the middle of the field, that's when they've had success.
And they'll dump it down, and Indiana lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage as Cole Guest grabs it. Malik Harrison with the tackle. Malik Harrison has been playing some excellent football dating back to late last season.
That's right. He's playing the best football of his life. You know, and they've been waiting for him to take that next step. And the senior from Columbus played at Walnut Ridge High School. He's certainly answered the bell. And number 39 is playing some great ball.
Second down and 9 at the 48. Ramsey in trouble and lost it. Fortunately, though, for IU, a red jersey right there. I believe it was Harry Kreider who fell on the football.
Yeah, and it was, I believe it was 67, Robert Landers, the tackle. He was the one that kind of got his hand on him. Watch the defensive tackles. 67, Chase Young is there, but see how 67, Robert Landers, he's the one that actually kind of jarred that right hand. And the ball just kind of slipped out of Ramsey's hands and hit the turf.
Brings up third down and 10 at the 47. Indiana 0 for 5 on third down conversions. Ramsey in trouble again. Ramsey still running, and he's tackled for a loss. Malik Harrison.
Flag came out in the backfield as Ramsey was under severe pressure. They're asking Ohio State They want to decline it. Looked like they probably would decline it. And he will.
Personal foul, hands to the face, offense, number 54. Penalties decline, 4th down.
That's the left tackle, Coy Crump. He was working against Chase Young. The All-American got that left paw up near his face mask, almost knocked Young's helmet actually off on that play. And Ohio State's defense, after that successful first play of the drive, tell you what, man, they are fast and they are tackling better. This is night and day from what we saw last year with Ohio State's defense. This unit has been spectacular.
2 new defensive coordinators for this Buckeyes team.
And now Indiana shanks a punt. You know, if you want to stick with this prize fighter analogy, this is where the champ starts throwing some heavy blows and the challenger is wobbly, and they have not answered that. And now Ohio State has a chance to get back out there and really put a dagger in them here in the second quarter.
A 12-yard punt with 6:02 to play. Ohio State with 273 yards of total offense. And Indiana has yet to break 100. First down at the 42 for Justin Fields, who started his career at Ohio State, and he's been perfect. Fields 8 of 13, 132 yards, 2 touchdowns passing and 1 rushing.
Looks like there was a timeout on that sideline for Ohio State. Ryan Day didn't like something that was going on.
Ohio State, they're first of the half.
And we'll step away. 6 minutes to play. 23-3 Bucks. Back after this.
Coming up on the State Farm halftime, we're going to highlight 2 impressive Big Ten teams, Penn State and Maryland. Plus, Coach, what's impressed you early from the Buckeyes?
Everything. Thorough beating. I mean, offense, defense, kicking game, block punt, 0 for 6 on 3rd downs. Thorough beating right now.
Everything. You got that, Gus, Joel? Everything.
I agree.
I agree with Coach. The great thing about Ohio State, they've got some good coaching going on here. We leave that TV star in Los Angeles. And Coach Meyer, you're still with us. Can you give us a little bit more detail, Coach, about what you're seeing with Ryan Day's Buckeyes right now?
Yeah, I see a team that came out fast, maybe not a great environment to start. We've been there before, but the focus, the energy they're playing with right now, and I'm telling you, the line of scrimmage, this is a beating. They're controlling every phase of the game right now.
So you see, what we're going to have to teach Coach Meyer is there's no more we. We is Rob Stone and Brady Quinn and Reggie. And, yeah, you said we. Yeah. It's going to take him a couple of years to get out of that.
Gus,
the universal we, excuse
Gus
me.
accused me. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Gus accused me of doing that a few years ago, but I still don't think he was right.
Nice throw, Olave with the reception. A 14-yard gain.
Here's the challenge, though, because I think at times during this, in particular week 1, maybe not so much last week against Cincinnati, but there was a bit of a let up from Ohio State. So now the challenge is keep the pedal to the metal. And here they go.
Over the middle and incomplete.
They should get a flag there, and it looks like one did come out late from the back judge. There was a lot of contact as Juwan Burgess, Gus, was defending against KJ Hill over the middle of the field.
Pass interference. Defense, number 5, 15-yard penalty from the previous line of scrimmage. Automatic. First down.
So that is Juwan Burgess, the redshirt sophomore from Tampa.
And here you see is Hill is going to break across the field from the left side of your screen over towards the right side of your screen. And there's the grab. Easy call by the official, and Tom Allen is beside himself with what he's seeing right now from his Hoosiers.
First down to the 30-yard line. Buckeyes very relaxed, very confident, in great rhythm. Play fake, Fields. Fields still moving, and he'll just throw it out of bounds. You know, we've been talking about boxing analogies here. Buster Douglas when he beat Mike Tyson, and Indiana wanted to stay in the game, but Mike Tyson also had a great saying. because Indiana came into this game with a great plan and very confident. But Mike Tyson once upon a time said everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. And right now, Ohio State is punching Indiana right in the chops. 2nd and 10 at the 30. They're running. Straight ahead, Dobbins. And he's taken down by Raekwon Jones.
They've been able to do everything that they've wanted to do. Ohio State has. They've been able to run the ball between the tackles. We've seen big runs from inside the tackles. They've taken shots down the field. We've seen good 3rd down conversions, but they're going to need another one here. This is where they love to run those crossing routes, Gus. See, as the wide receivers get tighter towards the ball, it's a bunch formation. They love to run crossing routes from this.
3rd down and 6. They'll run Dobbins around the corner. Dobbins looking for the first down. He has it and more. Still on the move. Dobbins. Touchdown, Buckeyes. What a run by J.K. Dobbins. A 26-yard touchdown. He now has 149 yards rushing on 17 carries.
I count 6 missed tackles. You could say maybe 1 right there, maybe a half. You got 1 right there. 2, 3, 4, a stiff arm, 5, and a 6th. And Dobbins is into the end zone.
What a
How about
player.
the little guy with some strength at the end of that run? I tell you what, man, this guy is on a mission today, and so are the Buckeyes, flexing on the Hoosiers.
Now remember, J.K. Dobbins was disappointed that his longest run of the season in their opener against Florida International was only 17 yards, but he had a 60-yard run for a touchdown last week against Cincinnati, and he's putting on a show today against IU. (30-3) Ohio State with 4:09 to play in the 2nd quarter. The number 6 team in the nation playing some serious football right here in their first road game of the year. Let's go downstairs with Jenny Taft.
Guys, it has been all love for J.K. Dobbins on the sideline. Now, I had a chance to talk to running backs coach Tony Alford about what changed, and he said his message has been, get out of your head. You've got the talent. You've got the potential. And he said when you stop thinking about it, that is the best we can see you play, and we're already seeing that confidence from him today.
J.K. Dobbins lost some body fat during the offseason, kept, though, his size. I don't know how you do that, but maybe that's youth.
Yeah, maybe a little youth there. I think that we're missing when we talk about Dobbins. Yes, it can be a renewed focus or an emphasis in the strength and conditioning. Gus, he's got a threat in the backfield with him in Justin Fields. That makes a huge difference. When he had Dwayne Haskins, defenses could focus on him and commit most of their resources towards stopping him. When he was with J.T. Barrett as a true freshman, what did he do? He averaged over 7 yards a carry during the course of the season. Last year with Haskins, what did he do? Averaged in the 4s for yards per carry. Last week, he averages 8 yards per carry. Today, 8 yards per carry. I think it's about having the threat of Justin Fields in the backfield as well that's going to open up lanes for J.K. Dobbins. All he's got to do is be patient and allow those lanes to open up because he's got the talent, as he's shown, for the ability to break the big one.
2nd down and 10 of the 22 for Indiana. Ramsey guns it over the middle, and it's caught close to a first down for the Hoosiers as Nick Westbrook brings it in. I think another thing about J.K. Dobbins that you have to mention is the kid plays with unbelievable heart and courage. 3rd down and 1, and IU gets the first down with Stevie Scott.
I know that Coach Meyer used to talk to us a lot about that, the human spirit, you know, and that type of a deal. So it's been impressive, man.
Very impressive career at Ohio State.
Everybody around the country, if you're watching this,
yeah, I tell you, the Buckeyes are no joke.
Yes,
1st and 10 at the 34. Scott again bottled up. And I think one thing that has also helped this Ohio State team, they have a new philosophy on defense, and they brought in 2 new coordinators.
They did, and one kind of old school, one very new school, and I think that yin and yang is working out perfectly. This is Greg Madison. He came from Michigan. He coached with Urban Meyer in the Florida days, and there was a lot of, cross and overlap there. He comes down. He's the co-coordinator with Jeff Hafley, who came from the 49ers. He's a younger guy who comes down from the NFL, and he's really shored up this secondary. He coaches the secondary, and these guys in the secondary, man, they are motivated. A lot of them thought they could have gone to the NFL last year. Damon Arnett is one of them, and they didn't go, and they are playing with a purpose this season. They're playing fast and tackling very well.
2nd down and 10. Ramsey in trouble, sacked by Chase Young. 3rd sack of the day for Ohio State.
They've run this stunt a couple of times now. Here's Chase Young on the outside. Now he's going to swing back all the way to the inside. Now he's going to be right in the face of Peyton Ramsey, and that is just too quick. Ramsey's got no chance to do anything with the ball.
3rd down and 14 at the 30. One thing Coach Hafley told me before the game is the reason our defense is good is because our defensive backs can tackle, and they're not afraid to tackle, and that sends a message to everybody else on the team when the DBs are bringing people to the ground. Ramsey up top, 1st down, nice throw, and a nice catch by Donovan Hale. Gain of 20.
Great catch right there. Absolutely spectacular going up the ladder. Hale 6'4", 218 pounds. And Ramsey, all he can do is go up the ladder because Wade had terrific coverage. Fuller was trying to come over there, but Donovan Hale with great concentration moves the chains for Indiana.
1st down at the 49 for IU. Ronnie Walker in the backfield with Ramsey. Here's Ramsey to throw. Looking, goes through his progressions. Oh, to the sideline, incomplete. Damon Arnett in coverage, intended for Hale once again.
And you can see the effects of this pass rush, and namely Chase Young. Gus, that was called max protection. It means that you're going to keep everybody in to block for the quarterback except for only 3 guys that are out on the route. So it's very tough to find an open receiver. Ramsey tried, but Arnett was there in coverage.
2nd and 10 at the 49. Ramsey looks like a flea flicker coming. Hale delivers wide open. Hendershot slowed up but gets into the end zone. Touchdown Indiana. 49 yards. And that will allow the Hoosiers to go into the locker room feeling good.
Well, from our seat, it's a great look because here's the pass. As the motion happens, what you're going to get, you see how all of a sudden you get just that back step, and Hale then gets that pass from a backward angle, and now he can throw it down the field, and the Buckeyes are caught with their nose in the backfield, and Hendershot is wide open for the touchdown.
Extra point good. 1:07 to play in the 2nd. 30-10. Ohio State. Indiana still fighting though, as Peyton Hendershot scores the touchdown. Back to Bloomington after this. And don't forget, the Big Noon halftime show sponsored by State Farm is standing by with Rob Stone, Matt Leinart, and Coach Meyer coming up shortly. Well-run play on the double pass for Indiana. The score with 1:07 to go. Hoosiers will send it away to Mario McCall. Is deep. And he'll bring it out of the end zone and get to the 15. And now a quick message from Duracell.
New Duracell Optimum. Extra life in some devices or extra power in others versus copper top.
And that touchdown pass was the first pass of Donovan Hale's career.
It's also the first touchdown that Ohio State has allowed in the first half this season. So Indiana pulls some trickery. I'll be interested to see here what Ryan Day does. There's probably not a huge sense of urgency. I would expect this would be like a screen to Dobbins or a run, and if he pops it, maybe they'll try to get the ball down the field, but I could see them playing a bit conservatively here.
And they'll run it with Dobbins, and Dobbins almost popped it, picks up a 1st down.
All right, Gus, now what you'll see is now the sense of urgency will pick up. Everything was predicated on that first play. Hand it off. If he doesn't get anything, then you play slow. But now the sense of urgency, fast tempo, and they'll get going.
Dobbins again. What a big first half for J.K. Dobbins. I'll tell you what, he has been sensational running the football between the tackles, running the football outside the tackles. 19 carries, 168 yards, and a touchdown. Fields, he'll let one fly. Looking, taking his time all day to throw it. Fields finally just dumps it out of bounds.
They were trying to take that shot down the field. Great coverage by Indiana, though. They knew exactly what was going on. Play fake at that situation inside of 30 seconds. That's not going to fool a lot of people, and it didn't fool Indiana there.
And last week, Coach Day was so impressed, not with Fields running or his passing, but with his ability to dump the ball out of play when need be.
Yeah, that's something young quarterbacks have to learn, you know, especially a guy that has probably relied on his athleticism for his entire life to make a play. And that's part of the game management of playing quarterback at this level. You've got to understand when to just throw the ball away, live to play another down.
Here's a handoff. Dobbins. And J.K. dragging defenders, picks up another first down.
Oh, my goodness.
8 yards.
The umpire had to stop him. Gus, he might have gone for, I mean, who knows? The umpire's having a heck of a day. He's got the bandage on it. I mean, that's, Dobbins is headed for the outside.
And that will be the end of the first half, and a big one for Ohio State. Dobbins, 20 carries, 175 yards and a touchdown. Fields, 9 of 16, 147 yards passing, and 2 passing touchdowns along with a rushing touchdown. Ohio State balling out in the first half as they head to the locker room with the lead over Indiana.
All right, Gus, thank you. Rob Stone, Matt Leinart, Urban Meyer in the studio as we welcome you to the State Farm halftime show. Buckeyes well on their way to their 24th straight win over Indiana. What's impressed from Ohio State in the opening 30 minutes? To quote Coach down there, everything. Here's your everything insight in the form of our halftime highlight, sponsored by State Farm.
This is an isolation play. This is a little bit of a new look for the offense. Under center, max protection, single shot to Chris Olave, block punt, touchdown, first half.
Yeah, they continue just to make plays in all 3 phases of this game. And for me, really the defense stepped up. And I thought going into this game, the defense would be tested because Peyton Ramsey getting the start. We know they can throw the football and they spread you out. But the secondary for this game, I mean, last year it was an issue at times giving up explosive pass plays, but they were in lockdown mode here. This was a nice drive Indiana had, and they just a great play on the ball. They settled for a field goal. And then I like this, Indiana trying to take shots downfield. There's 1, 2, 3 defenders every single time just making plays on the ball, and those are big chunk plays that can give momentum to an Indiana.
You the cash in. Now it's time to cash out all day. Make the choice.
Fox College football is sponsored by AT&T Business. Welcome back to Bloomington Memorial Stadium. And we're ready to start the second half. Ohio State with a 30-10 lead over Indiana. Gus Johnson along with Joel Clatton looking at this Ohio State team. It's just a different caliber of football. I mean, offense, defense, special teams as well.
All 3 phases, there's no doubt. Outside of that double pass from Indiana, Indiana had really nothing going on. And let's take a look at some football insights in the AT&T Business edge-to-edge zone where intelligence covers every edge of the field. It started with a simple zone read. Justin Fields makes a great read on the defensive end. He sucks down to J.K. Dobbins. Fields walks into the end zone. Then it was some special teams play. Chris Olave, who's been a star on both sides, offense and special teams, blocks the punt. J.K. Dobbins has been a workhorse, churning his way into the end zone there, and then just setting him up for Chase Young, guys. 3 tackles, 2 sacks, 2.5 tackles for loss. Flex, young man, flex. You are the best defensive end in America, and you're proving it today here in Bloomington.
So ready to start the second half. Ohio State deferred in the first half, will receive. to Mario McCall, ready to return. And he will not get an opportunity this time. Let's go downstairs and check in with Jenny Tabb.
Well, guys, I walked off the field with Coach Day, and I asked him quickly his reaction to Fields, Dobbins, and Olave. So Dobbins, he said, hey, he's running the ball well. Got to keep that going. For Fields, he's throwing well, more of that. And then for Olave, he said, how about that block punt? Defensively, they did get caught from that trick play. He wants a response. Coach Allen, the message was, we want to play 60 minutes. After 30, that is not us. He said the second half is about figuring out the character of this program.
All right, thank you very much, Jenny. 1st and 10 at the 25 for Justin Fields. With J.K. Dobbins with him. Dobbins with a big first half, and he starts off the second half with a 10-yard gain and a first down. And in week 1, this Indiana team, Joel, they had some problems tackling.
Yeah, 23 missed tackles is what the coaching staff counted, and they said that it accounted for about 180 yards for Ball State in week 1. Now, they did much better a week ago, but last year they were ranked by PFF, Pro Football Focus, as the 13th best tackling team in the Big Ten. They struggled last year with missed tackles, and they've missed several today.
And Fields delivers to the near side, and it's caught by Benjamin Victor. Fields really starting to settle in with his throws in this game.
Every time you see a young quarterback, get to that second, third start, you just start to see everything about him gets more confident and comfortable.
Rolling out this time on the move. And another catch. Austin Mack got a foot in bounds and another first down. So it's bada bing, bada boom for Ohio State as they march it down the field quickly.
Well, when you can run the football, this is why. Okay, you wonder why every single coach, Gus, starts with, well, we got to stop the run. Because when you can do this on first down.
Dobbins picks up 7.5, maybe 8 yards on the play.
Then everything else becomes so easy. Play action, bootleg. You can throw the ball down the field because the defense has to be ready for that run game. So this is a case study in why every coach defensively will talk about their #1 priority being stopping the run first. Indiana has not done that today, and that's why Ohio State has made it look so easy.
Dobbins lost his shoe, has to go off the field, and Ohio State picks up the first down with Master Teague. But right now, J.K. Dobbins, as we start the third quarter, 22 carries, 194 yards, and a touchdown. Remember, last season at Maryland, he ran for a career-high 203, the first 200-yard game of Buckeye, for a Buckeye, since Ezekiel Elliott in 2015, and he's certainly on his way to 200 today. 1st and 10 of the 25. Fields to the sideline. Benjamin Victor again out of bounds at the 5.
So everything becomes easier. Drop back pass becomes easier. Victor ran a great route there. It's a corner route. He just pushes his way to the inside to create the space on the outside. Fields got great protection from the offensive line and then delivered a strike down the field. You talk about coming out with a little sense of urgency. Up 20 on the road. The Big Ten opener, Ohio State just rolled out here, and their offense looked like they did not miss a beat here so far in the second half.
4 receptions, 66 yards for Victor. 1st and goal at the 4. Opening drive of the second half for the Bucks. And Fields looking in the end zone. Touchdown, J.K. Dobbins. Now he picks up a receiving touchdown to go along with his rushing touchdown. And 194 yards rushing.
Well, earlier in the game, he had the wide open touchdown pass on a very similar play. Remember that he dropped, so they go back to it, even into the short side of the field. Fields had to wait a beat. This is a much tougher catch than the first one, but watch where Fields puts the ball. Low and to the outside, right on the body of J.K. Dobbins. It's a perfect throw, and he's able to secure it through the catch for a touchdown.
Extra point, Haubeil. And it's good. So Ohio State picks up in the second half where they left off in the first half. J.K. Dobbins ran a good route. Fields puts it on the money. And the Buckeyes lead it 37-10. Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by Verizon, the network more people rely on. And by Nissan, premier partner of the Heisman Trophy. 37-10, Ohio State on top of Indiana as we start the third quarter. What a day for J.K.
I'd say Indiana doesn't want to see J.K. Dobbins. I thought you were meaning me for a second.
Oh, Joe Clack. No, your nickname is Clickety Clickety Clack.
There you go. Yeah, I tell you what, man, the Hoosiers don't want to see this guy anymore, especially in this building. 181 as a true freshman, rolling out for 193 so far today.
All right, it's the dawn of a new era as WWE Friday Night SmackDown comes to Fox. The action's unleashed every Friday night beginning October 4th, only on Fox. (37-10), Indiana hits the field for the first time to start this second half.
You know, that double pass that scored a touchdown, it got it to a 3-possession game, you know, before the half. That's why that opening series was so important for the defense, is to try to steal a possession. You're only going to have probably 5, 6, maybe 7 possessions in the second half, but now it's a 4-possession game.
Ramsey running it. Better get down as he is finally tackled at the 20-yard line after a 6-yard gain.
And that's the way you got to think about it, is just number of possessions. You know, how many times, and that's exactly what now Ryan Day and this Ohio State team is going to start thinking about, is closing them out. The more times you can close them out, get them to punt, they're just not going to have enough possessions to come back.
2nd and 4 at the 21. Stevie Scott goes in motion out of the backfield. Here's Ramsey looking, bounces out of the pocket, wants to run it, and goes out of bounds short of the first down. So Ryan Day, he's trying to join Urban Meyer and Earl Bruce as the only Ohio State coaches since World War II to win his first 6 games. Remember, he won his first 3 last year when Coach Meyer was out, and this year he's undefeated. Here's a man that has coached for some great coaches. Chip Kelly, he played for him in New Hampshire. And Urban Meyer, he coached for him as a graduate assistant at Florida. Traveled throughout the NFL with Chip, with the Eagles, where he coached Sam Bradford, the 49ers, Colin Kaepernick. Came back to Urban. 2 years as the offensive coordinator. Stevie Scott catches it out of the backfield. And now the head man in Columbus.
And he's got a ways to go. First, they got to close this one out, up 27 here in the third to get his 6th victory. Remember, he got the 3 last year at the beginning of the year when he was filling in an interim basis for Coach Meyer. He's got a long way to go to catch Urban, though. Urban won his first 24 games at Ohio State.
Finished 12-0 his first year. And just looking at this Ohio State team, you know, last year they had a major loss when they traveled to West Lafayette and Purdue put it on them, but it seems like things are different this year, especially with the defense. They're so aggressive and so disciplined, and it looks like, Joel, everybody knows where they're supposed to go and they can get there quickly.
Yeah, you don't. Well, here's a reverse here from Indiana trying to trick him again.
Wap Hilliard, and they'll get the first down.
Nice play there. That shows off the speed from Wap Hilliard. And yeah, you know, to your point, it's not a simple defense. There's still intricacies to what they're trying to do, but the emphasis was trying to get these amazingly talented athletes and get what the coaches like to say, their cleats in the ground and their eyes in the backfield. You know, get them their minds clear so that they can try to play fast. And I think you're seeing that play out because they certainly run to the football, they pursue, and they tackle much better than they did a year ago.
First down at the 43. Play fake. Ramsey under pressure. Ramsey, Chase Young got a hold of him, couldn't hold on. Ramsey throwing it out of bounds. Robert Landers was trying to clean it up, but Young once again with pressure in the backfield.
Well, we talked about this in the pregame, didn't we, Gus? When you're trying to go one-on-one with Chase Young, it just doesn't work. He's too good. He's powerful, he's strong, he's fast, he's explosive. He's got one of the best get-offs in all of college football. And he's just putting a display on today of how to rush the passer. He certainly blew that play up for Indiana.
2nd and 10 at the 43. Ramsey over the middle. Almost intercepted. Wow, that should have been an interception. As Josh Proctor had two hands on the football, hitting right between his numbers. Meanwhile, let's go to Sam Farber for a game break.
Closing moments of the first half. Number 13 Penn State trailing Pitt by 3 until Jordan Stout dials one up from distance. 57-yard field goal. That's a school record. Stout also has a 53-yarder this season. Pretty strong leg, Gus and Joel.
What a kick. What a kick. My college kicker was Mason Crosby, still kicking for the Green Bay Packers. He used to hit 63-yarders like nobody's business.
Wow. Interesting. Arnett with the tackle. Didn't you have a female kicker too? Did you guys have a female kicker?
Not when I was there. She was there a few years beforehand.
Oh, okay. 37-10. I think I remember reading about one of the young ladies from the Olympic team maybe wanting to try to kick for a team or something like that.
Yeah, Carly Lloyd from the women's national soccer team. He's talked about getting some interest from NFL squads about potentially kicking or getting a tryout in the NFL.
That'd be cool.
This is the greatest meritocracy in the world. If you can do it, you can do it. That's what I love about the sport.
No doubt about it. J.K. Dobbins is doing it. 37-10 Ohio State. When you look at this Ohio State program, I mean, you can call this quarterback you. They've had some great ones over the last few years, and it looks like Justin Fields is following suit.
Yeah, I mean, all due respect to Ohio State, I think Oklahoma might say something about that over the last couple of years. But Ryan Day, like Lincoln Riley, has done a remarkable job of taking different players with different styles and having a lot of success. He did it with J.T. Barrett, then Dwayne Haskins last year, and he's starting to do the same with Justin Fields here.
On first down, Master Teague running it over the left side.
Am I right? I mean, Oklahoma does have 2 Heisman trophies in the last 2 years.
That's true.
Buckeye fans, before you get all upset, the hardware suggests that I would be correct there.
Yeah. But I tell you what, at the end of the season last year, I think the college football playoff competitors did not want to see an Ohio State team in that playoff because they were playing so well, and Haskins just a wonderful talent. And I'm happy and looking forward to seeing what Dwayne is going to do with the Redskins this year.
Yeah, there's no doubt. He was playing incredible football. There's a flag here late in the play. I think they're going to get, yeah, they're looking over.
Holding, offense, number 73. Penalties decline, 3rd down.
Jonah Jackson, the left guard, guilty of a hold there. It did decline it, so it'll be 3rd down here. And this is a situation as a young quarterback, you better have your head on straight. It's 3rd and obvious, long, Gus, is what I call it, and you're in the shadow of your own end zone. A lot of bad things can happen here for the offense. The quarterback has to make them right with his decisions right here. This is a big moment for Fields.
On 3rd down and 7, Fields throwing out of his end zone, and nobody there. Incomplete.
Late flag over the middle. Gus, they're going to get Indiana on a hold in the middle of the field.
Holding, defense, number 22. 10-yard penalty from the previous line of scrimmage. Automatic, 1st down.
That's Jamar Johnson, backup linebacker.
And watch this in the right side, or excuse me, left side of your screen right over there. That's KJ Hill, and as he's trying to come across the field, you're going to see just at the top, there's the hold as he's trying to get into the middle, and that's where Fields was looking. And Fields kind of had to throw that ball away. Tom Allen doesn't like it, but I got to tell you, that's a hold all day long. Fields is looking for someone to go with the ball, and certainly Johnson pulled KJ Hill down to the ground.
So 1st down for Ohio State at the 16. Fields handing it off to Teague. Teague with a burst. Teague still on the move, and finally, Teague is upended by Raheem Lane, but he gained 16 yards. And you just wonder who is the heir apparent to J.K. Dobbins at running back at Ohio State.
Well, it might be Master Teague. Certainly, they've got a lot of talented guys, including a couple of true freshmen that we haven't seen yet this year. And as we keep talking about these backs, we would be remiss, Gus, if we didn't mention the offensive line so far today. They have been outstanding. This is the best game the offensive line has played this season.
First down at the 32. Fields looks backside, delivers, and it's caught. This time, Garrett Wilson, who they're really high on, 5-star recruit out of Lake Travis in Austin, Texas, but he's a Ohio kid.
Grew up mostly in Ohio, then just moved down to Austin for the last few years when his dad had a job transfer, but he comes back and as a Buckeye had a sensational touchdown catch last week in the corner of the end zone.
Second down and 11 at the 31. And I like the command that Justin Fields has displayed today. Play fake, Fields, sideline, and incomplete. Wilson, the intended receiver again.
Garrett Wilson working on the outside. That's against Jalen Williams. And Williams kind of sits on the route. Oh, gets away with a lot.
It's like a face mask.
His hands in his face mask on his hip. The officials decided to not call it there, but certainly any one of those could have drawn some laundry.
Third down and 11 at the 31. And they'll hand it off. Teague looking for the first down. Teague has the first down, and there are the missed tackles by IU. Something that Coach Allen is really going to have to work on with his squad. It's Master Teague on third down and 11. Picks up 15.
Look at all the Indiana players. They're right up at the line of scrimmage, and when that happens, it just takes one seal and hole, and you can get up onto the second level, which Teague's able to do.
Fields looking deep for Olave, and incomplete. Olave had the step. Fields unable to connect.
Man, he had him. He absolutely had him. Olave kind of got caught running with his right shoulder back, trying to look back at Fields the whole time. If Olave turns and just runs dead down the field for his first 10 or so steps after he beats the defender, maybe 4 or 5 steps, I think he's further down the field and he's actually going to catch that ball. Those are little technique things you can clean up.
Fields sprinting out of the pocket this time. Sets up. Delivers deep down the field. And incomplete. Benjamin Victor, the intended receiver, and a flag.
This is on that opposite side of the field.
Tywan Mullen covering.
Holding. Defense, number 23. 10-yard penalty from the previous line of scrimmage. Automatic. First down.
There's Jalen Williams. I told you he was getting away from it, but this was the opposite side. This is Victor. He's coming from the left side of the offense, trying to get away from the defensive back and run away from him, and the ball is just a little bit too far for him. That's the one area, Gus, there's really, I've watched every snap for Justin Fields this year several times. That's the only area of his game that I think needs to be cleaned up a little bit, is that he has a tendency to overthrow his wide receivers. I think that'll come, though, as you become more comfortable and more confident in the pocket. That type of rhythm will be established.
Third game. First year as a starter for Justin Fields after transferring. Not to make excuses for the young man, but I talk about his presence, and I'd like to talk about his presence, Joel, because with quarterbacks, as you know, the great ones walk a certain way.
Yeah.
They have a swagger about them.
Yeah.
They're in complete control, and everybody knows it. And this kid has it in spades.
You know, there's a presence to the good ones that we meet with. And, you know, you could say that about coaches as well. You know, when we walk into a room and we sit with guys, and we do it all the time, every single week. And there's just a difference when you get one of those dudes. And how about this one?
Teague breaks a tackle on his way. Master Teague, touchdown, Ohio State. 40 yards.
Such a great job by the offensive line. Check out the offensive line. They're going down, down, down. Then you're going to get a kick out from the tight end right there. And then the other tight end leads up the hole. Teague reads it, missed tackle, plagued Indiana all season long. Touchdown Buckeyes.
43-10. 4:58 to go in the third quarter. Ohio State has 495 yards. 296 rushing yards. Buckeyes pounding forward. This is going to be a hard team to stop this year. They are terrific. Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by Ice Cold Dr. Pepper, the official drink of Fansville. And check out all of Joel's Breaking the Huddle content at foxsports.com/breakingthehuddle and on Fox Sports social platforms, sponsored by Dr. Pepper. What have you been talking about lately, and what do you think we can talk about this week?
Well, there's a lot going on. Lots going on. This Ohio State team has certainly been a topic of conversation, and I think the other large topic, and maybe the one that's maybe not the most surprising, but certainly is going to be the most impactful moving forward, is the emergence of Joe Burrow, the quarterback
at LSU.
LSU. That's right.
Huge win for LSU last week on the road against Texas. The former Ohio State quarterback has found a home in Baton Rouge.
44-10 Ohio State. Let's take a look at our All-State mayhem moment. It was 14-3 when Chris Olave created some mayhem with this blocked punt. And ever since then, it's been all Buckeyes. It was a 30-7 run that they put on the Hoosiers ever since that point. Chris Olave, who really burst on the scene last year in the game against Michigan with Gus, a blocked punt, does it again here today.
Special talent, Olave. Meanwhile, Ramsey looking, and Ramsey to the far side, and the ball is caught by Nick Westbrook. Westbrook gets out of bounds with a 20-yard gain.
This is the point in time when just kitchen sink time for Indiana. You got to score quickly. You got to do everything you possibly can to get a score before the end of the quarter. You got to take shots.
Ramsey running it. And Ramsey will get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard on the play, goes out of bounds, falls awkwardly as Zach Harrison, who they're really high on, 5-star recruit as well for Ohio State, knocks him out of bounds.
Yeah, Zach Harrison is a guy, you see, he kind of fell awkwardly. You're absolutely right, Gus, but bounced up back into the huddle. But Harrison is a guy that they think can be kind of the next great defensive end here at Ohio State, and they've certainly had a bunch of them over the last few years.
Joey Bosa, Nick Bosa, now Chase Young. Ramsey delivers and knocked down. Jordan Fuller with the breakup. Whop Fillier, the intended receiver. Here's Sam Farber in Los Angeles with a game break.
Guys, Maryland jumped into the national ranking this week after averaging 71 points per game through the first 2 contests. Struggling at Temple. Owls. Anthony Russo going deep to Jaden Blue. It's a 79-yard touchdown. The Big Ten rep Terrapins trailing Temple 13-9 in the third quarter.
Well, Maryland jumping into the top 25 after the demolishing of Syracuse last week. And they've got a new coach there who's from the Washington, D.C. area. And a lot of Ohio State guys come from that Washington, D.C. area, Joe. That may come to an end. And here we go again, 3rd down and 8. It's good to see the Terps playing well. They've been through a lot over the last couple of years.
Yeah, and this is one of those times when, like 18 to 22-year-olds get a little overconfident, because I thought Syracuse was vastly overrated. Then all of a sudden you think, well, we beat this top 25 team by so much, and they get a little, and then you play Temple on the road, maybe a little lazy environment, if you will, there in Philly, And what happens? You don't play well. You know, this is the ebb and flow of college football as Indiana goes for it here on 4th down.
4th down and 1, and this is Samson James, the freshman from Avon, Indiana. James initially had committed to play for Ohio State, went to the Ohio State-Indiana game last year, stood on the Ohio State sideline and said, you know what, I think I feel better over on the other sideline. I belong at IU, and they are happy. He's a 4-star recruit and one of the building blocks for this young team.
Yeah, from Avon High School, just west of Indianapolis, about an hour away.
1st and 10 at the 39th. Ramsey over the middle. Another completion. Freifogel down to the 20.
Yeah, nice concept there. Really good concept. And Ramsey, more importantly, had time to survey the defense in order to get that ball over on what, Gus, I would call a basic route. It's a deep over that stops against zone, and he just sits down over the middle of the field. And Ramsey was able to locate him and move the chains. Ramsey's showing some guts here on this drive. He has been battered and beat today by an excellent pass rush from Ohio State, and yet he has stood in there and continues to sling it down the field for the Hoosiers.
1st down at the 21. Ramsey knocked away. Damon Arnett, well defended. Wap Fillier, the intended receiver. Arnett right in his hip pocket.
Yeah, and Fillier wanted that ball to the corner of the end zone. He felt like he had the space. Watch Gus, if he goes all the way to the back pylon, then he may have a chance. But the fact that he brought him across the field, that allowed Arnett to get his hand over Fillier and block that ball away. He wanted Ramsey to put that in a different area.
2nd and 10 at the 21. Play action. Ramsey quick release, and Pete Warner just gobbles up Cole Guest.
It was man coverage. Warner had Guest out of the backfield and read that beautifully. These screens have not worked for Indiana all day. The speed and the ability of this defense to diagnose what's going on has made it really difficult for Indiana to do some of those misdirection delay style screens to the short side of the field.
Third and 13. And the Ohio State 24 for the Hoosiers. Ramsey steps up in the pocket, scrambling, and he'll go out of bounds at the 22, maybe the 21.
Got to go for it. Take a shot. You just wonder here what Ohio State wants to do. A lot of backups in right now for Ohio State on the defensive line, even some in the secondary. And it'd be interesting to see if they want to pressure right now and try to force the ball out of Ramsey's hand quickly, or play coverage and see if they can hold him here on 4th down. And Indiana wants a timeout.
47 seconds to play, 3rd quarter. Indiana faced with a 4th down and 10. Back after this.
Every play, we initiate the fight. Get them in the face.
Fourth down and 10 for IU at the Ohio State 21 with 47 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter. Peyton Ramsey looking, almost picked off, and a flag on the play. Donovan Hale felt like he was held, and we will see.
For what it's worth, I thought he was out of his break at the top of the route. Backup corner Cameron Brown, I thought, held Hale at about the 5-yard line.
Pass interference. Defense, number 26. 15-yard penalty from the previous line of scrimmage. Automatic. 1st down.
Here's Brown working against Hale. Cameron Brown, just a sophomore from the St. Louis area. Watch right here at the top. See, he just got a fistful of jersey, and then he continues with the contact through the pass. Really could have gone with either call, holding or pass interference, but way too much contact there down the field. It creates a 1st and goal, Gus, for Indiana.
From the 6-yard line. Stevie Scott, no, it's Ramsey on the play fake, and he'll be tackled for a loss by the Buckeyes' Tyler Friday.
Friday is another one of these defensive ends, very talented, from Don Bosco Prep in New Jersey. Chase Young loving some of these young defensive ends, getting some time, watching them make plays. Friday did not play against FAU. Neither did Tyreek Smith, number 11. So now you're seeing some of these young guys, Smith, Zach Harrison, Tyler Friday, and you're seeing what they can be in the future for the Buckeyes.
2nd down and goal at the 7. Ramsey over the middle. Incomplete. Nick Westbrook just couldn't hold on. That one thrown in the tight window.
Boy, you could say that on almost every pass, couldn't you?
100%.
Urban Meyer's exactly right when he said at halftime that all of these defensive backs are pros. They are. Safety Jordan Fuller, he's going to be a pro. Damon Arnett, Jeff Okudah, they could likely be both 1st-round picks.
Prior to snap, timeout, Ohio State. They're first of the half. We have 30-second charge, timeout.
4 seconds to go in the 3rd. 44-10. Back in a moment. (44-10). Ohio State leading Indiana with 4 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Big first half for J.K. Dobbins and Justin Fields. They came out in the 3rd quarter and marched it right down the field and scored again. And Indiana has really struggled with this Ohio State defense. So disciplined, this team. 3rd down and goal at the 7. Ramsey wants to throw it. Does, and intercepted. Damon Arnett. Watch out. Damon Arnett breaks across the field. Damon Arnett still on the move. Damon Arnett stayed in school. Chris Carter said you weren't ready. Well, hey, Hall of Famer, I'm getting ready. 97 yards for a touchdown.
What a play. Here's the tight end, Peyton Hendershot. He's coming across the field here. Arnett waits for him in the zone coverage, jumps the route. What an athletic play just to get the interception, and then he's gone. Cuts it back once, then he's going to cut it back a 2nd time and finds himself in the end zone. Damon Arnett. Wow. What a show these defensive backs have put on. I told you earlier today they had a chip on their shoulder from the way Indiana threw the ball on them last year. Peyton Ramsey threw it for 322 yards and 3 touchdowns. No picks. The Buckeyes didn't have one last year against Indiana.
And the way this Ohio State team is playing, I can't see anybody beating them in the Big Ten.
Ooh.
Anybody.
All right.
Fox 36 gives you news at a convenient time.
College football's most electric player is on Fox.
We've been waiting all week for this.
Jalen Hurts, Oklahoma's unstoppable QB, leads the 5th-ranked Sooners against Dorian Thompson-Robinson and UCLA. Oklahoma-UCLA, tonight at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. Sponsored by Ram on Fox and the Fox Sports app.
Fox College Football is sponsored by AT&T Business. 51-10. Ohio State, complete domination on all sides of the football.
Yep.
Offense, defense, and special.
I'm going to go back to before the break. You said anybody in the Big Ten. Where are you from?
I'm from Michigan.
You still think anybody?
Anybody. I can't see it. This team is. We saw Michigan last week. And
yep.
They're a work in progress.
And they're at home right now on a bye. And they're going to play Wisconsin next week.
Nobody beats these guys. Unless the only people that can beat these guys in the Big Ten, in my opinion, the only person that can beat them is themselves.
It's a great call.
We saw that last year in West Lafayette. Let's go to Sam in L.A.
You know, Maryland might have been thinking they'd have a shot at Ohio State, but they're struggling today against Temple. Third quarter, Terrapins take back the lead. Josh Jackson's 17-yard pass to Tyler Mabry. They missed the PAT, though. 15-13 Maryland in a tight and testy contest in the city of brotherly love.
Say that's another transfer quarterback, Josh Jackson, that has played well and given Maryland a lift there. As Justin Fields here, Jalen Hurts at Oklahoma.
Stevie Scott running it. But even though Indiana has struggled today against the 6th-ranked Buckeyes, you have to look toward the future. Back-to-back great recruiting classes for Coach Allen.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, 2019, best in the history of the school. Prior to that, 2018 was the best in the history of the school.
And they've done a great job of opening up different areas of the country. And specifically, Gus, Florida. They've got a lot of players on their defense that bring some swagger and some speed. And a lot of those guys, those young players, are from Florida and even some into Georgia.
Things improving. The facilities have been upgraded here at IU. Tom Allen is from Newcastle, Indiana, so this is his home state after traveling all around the country coaching football. Feels like the Hoosiers have everything in the right place. It just will take a little bit of time, especially against the powers of the conference. 3rd down and 8 at the 32. And a sack. Tyler Friday.
This defensive end group is incredible. It doesn't matter. It's like wave upon wave upon wave of elite pass rushers.
That's a word Urban Meyer loves to use. Elite.
That's right. That's right. And in order to be elite rushing the passer, you've got to have an uncommon hunger to get there. There's got to be a determination there, a motor there, and you can see that happening when Chase Young is out on the field to greet Tyler Friday after getting into the backfield.
12:58 to play, 4th quarter. A lot of football left. Ohio State with a huge lead. Big Noon Saturday is presented by AT&T Business, providing edge-to-edge intelligence. And is sponsored by Buick, proud partner of the NCAA. And coming up next, it's a Pac-12 Big Ten matchup as Arizona State takes on number 18 Michigan State in East Lansing. Then at 8 Eastern, Jalen Hurts and Oklahoma, the number 5 ranked team in the nation, battle UCLA in a primetime showdown. Catch it all on Fox and the Fox Sports app. New quarterback in for the Buckeyes, Chris Chugunov, the West Virginia transfer. And they'll give it to Master Teague. Chugunov transferred from West Virginia in the fall of 2018. He started 2 games in 2017.
You're also seeing some backup offensive linemen. True freshman center Harry Miller, number 77, in the game here for the Buckeyes. He was a 4-star recruit, the number 2 center in the country. And he was the class valedictorian at his high school.
Ohio State with 503 yards of total offense.
Man.
But it's the defense, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
Because that's the difference with this team this year.
Last year they were the number 2 offense in America. You know, they did this last year offensively, maybe in a different fashion. It wasn't as much run game last year as it is this year. The absolute difference is this defense, and you know, in particular against the pass. Remember, you know, last year they would give up big chunk yardage. Garrett Wilson tries to go up the ladder for that one, but they don't do that anymore, and they tackle well in space. Last year there was 2 things. The man coverage led to big plays and missed tackles. Okay. This year they're playing still some man but incorporating zone. No big plays, no missed tackles. It's been a remarkable turnaround.
Chugunov to the far side, and he'll throw this one out of play. And a flag on the play.
It's like Indiana might have. Checking with Tom Allen here.
Nickel formation on the offense. More than 4 players in the backfield. Penalties decline. 3rd down.
All right, remember, this is a talented Ohio State defense from the class of 2017. The Buckeyes snared 4 5-star players in the top 20. Chase Young, number 7 overall. Jeff Okuda, number 8. Baron Browning, number 11. And Sean Wade, number 17. All pros. 3rd and 10 at the 46. Chugunov. And it's caught on the far side by Garrett Wilson. And if you're Ryan Day, you want Chugunov and you want Gunnar Hope to have an opportunity to play because for Ohio State, they're untested.
Okay, so for me, there were 3 questions coming into the season about Ohio State on the field. Obviously, there were some questions about, hey, can you replace Urban Meyer? Well, Urban even thought Ryan Day was elite, so that question kind of got answered in that. The depth at quarterback, question mark. The defense, question mark. And the last thing for me, at least, was their ability to throw the ball and replace Dwayne Haskins. Okay, so this is a chance for them to build the depth.
Offense, number 6. 5-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
It's Jamison Williams
at the quarterback position behind Fields. Okay, because that was a major issue for them going into the year. Fields has developed, I think, really well in these first 3 games throwing the football. There's some things to clean up, but that's a good thing for Ryan Day. You know, he can go in there and he can continue to develop, and Fields is a hungry player. He wants that coaching from one of the elite quarterback coaches in college football, Ryan Day, and then the defense. So I think they've answered in the affirmative resoundingly 2 of those 3 questions, and now you get a chance to build some depth, hopefully, with meaningful snaps for the backup quarterbacks here, because you never know. You never know when you might need one of those guys. Think about it. Last year, Clemson needed Kelly Bryant and Trevor Lawrence at times. The year before, you needed Tua and Jalen Hurts to potentially win a national championship. Justin Fields may need some help at some point.
Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by Progressive Insurance, handing off big savings to you. Woody Hayes' last win as Ohio State's head coach came at Indiana in 1978. Over the course of his 28-year career at Ohio State, he won 205 football games, 13 Big Ten championships, and 5 national titles. 51-10. Buckeyes with the lead. Drew Chrisman, 2nd team All Big Ten a year ago. He is a wonderful punter and a wonderful weapon at pinning the ball inside the 25. And this one trickles into the end zone. Let's go to Sam Farber for a game break.
100th meeting all time between Penn State and Pitt. It's been a good one. Tied in the 3rd quarter. Let's introduce you to Noah Cain. Freshman running back takes it in from 13 yards out. 16 carries this season for Cain. That's touchdown number 4. Number 13 ranked Penn State up by 7 in the 2nd half.
All right, thank you very much, Sam. I think James Franklin is one of the underrated great coaches in all of college football.
Yeah, he's looking for a little bit of a bounce back year. You know, after last year, I think they would probably admit they fell a little below expectations. And that game, you know, those rivalry games in particular, those kind of local rivalry games like that, in-state.
Tough games.
Yeah, they're very tough.
Cole Guest, healthy this year for Indiana. He's from Ohio, Lyndhurst, St. Edward. And for Indiana, they say, Coach Allen told us that he wants to get a lot of his special players from the South, but the linemen, especially on the offensive line, from Indiana and Ohio. 2nd and 5 at the 25 is the middle caught. And this is Nick Westbrook. Oh, make that Miles Marshall.
Miles Marshall is one of those Georgia products, redshirt freshman. Did catch a touchdown last week, 2 catches for 17 yards against Eastern Illinois. One of them was for a touchdown.
First down at the 35. Guest stood up and taken down by Dallas Gant.
And I tell you, it's got to be fun, you know, for an Ohio State fan, obviously, to watch a game like this. But secondly, to then see kind of the future, because these games give you a glimpse into the future. Well, Dallas Gant's part of that future. He's just a sophomore from Toledo, St. John's Jesuit High School. Played a lot of games last year. He's a true freshman on special teams.
And a sack once again, 5th sack of the day for Ohio State. And it's Zach Harrison.
Man, how about the speed right here from Zach Harrison? Here he is. This is looking like Chase Young. Getting around the edge, rushing with speed, gets to the quarterback. Zach Harrison is 255 pounds. In high school, he ran a 4.47 40. That is disgustingly fast.
Oh my
I mean, just ridiculous.
3rd and 15. Ramsey underneath. And Ronnie Walker will be strung out of bounds. Let me tell you something about Ohio State fans, in my opinion. If they don't win it all, it's not a good season, period.
Yeah, and that's what Ryan Day's expectations are, to win every game. Coach Meyer has talked about that, you know, that's the most difficult part. And I can tell you right now, this team is easily one of the 4 best teams in the country.
I agree with you 100%.
I go all over the country, folks, all over the country, and I watch people practice. And when you're talking about the eye test, there are 4 teams in the country that you stand on the sideline, watch them practice, and you say, wow.
Clemson, Alabama,
Georgia, and Ohio State.
Or you can just say the. Welcome back. 51-10. The Ohio State Buckeyes are 7 minutes and 50 seconds away from starting their season 3-0. Ryan Day winning his 6th consecutive game. Has the head coach McCall knocked down from behind. Nice job by Michael Zimba. Tough schedule for the Buckeyes. They will go home after this game and take on Miami of Ohio, then get back into the Big Ten at Nebraska, home against Michigan State, a bye at Northwestern Wisconsin. So that'll tell a lot about this team during that run. DeMario McCall. And as you look at this schedule, Penn State on the schedule at home, at Michigan, final game of the year.
And it's always been those, you know, road Big Ten games that has tripped them up over the last couple of years. At Iowa, at Purdue. So you're looking at games like at Nebraska, at Northwestern. That Northwestern game, by the way, Gus, that's a Friday night game that will be on FS1. And so that will be an interesting one there at Ryan Field in Evanston.
And the ball knocked loose. And Indiana has it. Hoosiers still flying around the football.
Throwing on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense. 1st and 10.
Each team with 1 turnover. Gill couldn't hold on.
And watch at the end, Indiana just kind of flying around, doing a good job coming up. Making the hit was Jawan Burgess, number 5. And he's another one from the Florida area, the Tampa area, Plant High School. Plant High School, by the way, has big ties to this program. We'll get into that in just a sec, but new quarterback, Gus, as Jack Tuttle will enter the game, the transfer from Utah, very highly recruited player. He's top 5 pro-style quarterback in the country coming out of high school.
Chris Olave's former high school teammate.
That's right, Mission Hills High School in Southern California. The reason Chris Olave is at Ohio State is because of number 14 that plays for Indiana and who's in the game now.
Jack Tuttle. And he hands it off on first down to Samson James. If you would like to tell that story once again for those of you that didn't have a chance to hear it early on.
Jack Tuttle, highly recruited, like I just said. Ryan Day was there at Mission Hills to watch Jack Tuttle play quarterback. And this wide receiver kept flashing. He's fast. He could jump. You know, he's a little undersized as far as his frame goes, but Ryan Day thought, I got to do some more research on this guy. Who's his name? Chris Olave was his name. Started recruiting him. That ball hit the ground. Beanbag is out from the official, but Indiana recovered. And they started digging. Got Olave onto campus. Loved his athleticism. Watched him play basketball.
Fumble recovered by Indiana.
And Olave has a great track background as well. And that's how Olave wound up at Ohio State. Tuttle ended up going to Utah, transferred out, now at Indiana, where his dad was a walk-on place kicker back in the day.
3rd down and 5 to the 20 for Tuttle. And he's sacked. Flag on the play, however. So much pressure. Javante Jean-Baptiste in the backfield.
Kind of had his helmet, face mask grabbed as he was rushing the passer. Red shirt freshman. Another talented pass rusher for Ohio State.
Personal foul.
Broken record.
Face mask. Offense. Number 77. Penalties decline. 4th down.
All right, let's go to Sam Farber for game break.
Number 7 Notre Dame hosting New Mexico. Lobos quarterback Sharon Jones intercepted by Kyle Hamilton, and the freshman's going to go 32 yards for a pick 6. All right, Hamilton. Fighting Irish off to a fast start, up 7-0 in the first quarter. Gus and Joel.
How do you like that Notre Dame team this year?
I really like Notre Dame. It's almost picked off right there by Josh Proctor. Notre Dame is a heck of a team. I get a little concerned with their run defense. They were not great in their opening game against Louisville, stopping the run.
All right, start Saturday strong next week with the big noon Saturday game of the week as Shea Patterson leads number 10 Michigan into Camp Randall to take on number 14 Wisconsin. It all starts with the big noon kickoff pregame show at 11 Eastern on Fox and the Fox Sports app. What do you think about the Wolverines and Badgers?
Well, I think one of them has looked sensational so far this season, and the other one incredibly shaky. Wisconsin has been great on defense. They've got the best running back in the country in Jonathan Taylor, and they seem to have figured out the quarterback position with Jack Cohn, their new quarterback. Have not given up a point. Meanwhile, Michigan, I don't know what Michigan is. After watching them last week against Army, Gus, they've got this new offense that hasn't done anything. You know, they're not throwing the ball all that well. They can't run the ball all that well, and they're not using their new RPOs and zone reads very efficiently. So, you know, Michigan for me is a giant wait and see. They've got some talent, clearly. Their defense, I think, is poised to be a very good defense again. But until that offense does anything, I mean, they're throwing the ball for less yards per pass this year than last year. And this is supposed to be a more like passing-oriented spread style attack. So they got to figure things out on that offensive side.
Gunnar Hoke has come in at quarterback for Ohio State. He transferred from Kentucky in May, but arrived weeks after spring practice ended. As they run it, and what led this young man to Columbus? Well, 3 things. He heard from OSU coaches the day after he put his name into the transfer portal. Grew up an Ohio State fan, and his dad, Frank, was an Ohio State tight end in the mid-'80s. 4 games at Kentucky last year, 13 of 26, 167, 2 touchdowns and a pick.
His uncle Fred was also a coach here at Ohio State under Woody Hayes in 1978, Earl Bruce 79 through 87, and then John Cooper. So he was here for forever. Fred was. He was the defensive coordinator for Cooper from 1996 to 2000. So lots of family ties easy transition. Gunnar Hoke to come finish his career here as Chase Young looks on. He's got to be happy with the way his teammates, or more specifically, his defensive teammates played here today.
Third down and 15. Hope in trouble and is sacked. Number 94, DeMarcus Elliott. Here's Sam Farber in Los Angeles.
The upset alert is getting louder in Philadelphia. Number 21, Maryland visiting Temple. Al's nice play design here. Quarterback Anthony Russo finds Kenny Yeboah for a 7-yard juggling catch. Third TD toss of the game for Russo. It's 20-15 Temple with less than 7 minutes to play. Gus and Joel?
Crispin. And they'll start inside the 20 with Watt, Fillion, and Watt just driven down. Nice special teams play as Brown makes the tackle. 54-yard punt, only a 2-yard return.
Well, let's check out our Duluth Trading Company hardest working player, and that player is J.K. Dobbins. What a day J.K. had today. 193 yards rushing, 14 yards receiving, 207 total yards, and several broken tackles along the way with a couple of touchdowns and a nice flex there. This guy has been waiting for his chance to break out after what he called a frustrating season a year ago. He did not have the running threat with him as quarterback in the backfield last year with Dwayne Haskins. And now he's got that with Justin Fields. He's going to have a big year and a lot of games where he's got those big explosive carries. That was certainly the case today. And I think what puts most people on notice, Gus, is the fact that he can take a ball that's designed to go between the tackles. He finds a seam. He can bounce and then make everybody miss. The broken tackles today were so impressive, and he's certainly today's hardest working player.
J.K. Dobbins.
Oh, yeah, there you go. You got to put. I love it. Getting the selfie with J.K. Dobbins. A few $100 in gas to get to Bloomington. Maybe stay at the Holiday Inn.
Samson James, the Holiday Inn.
$100.
Great Holiday Inn here in Bloomington.
Selfie with J.K. Dobbins, priceless.
That's right. Kevon Pope with the stop.
There you go.
What do you say if you're Ryan Day? I can't really see him. I didn't see this team making any mistakes today.
That's a great question.
What do you say to your guys?
Let me tell you exactly what Ryan Day needs to do. Is if I were him, I would get with my captains and my senior leaders immediately and impress upon them the importance of their role over the next few weeks. And their role is very simple, Gus, which is maintain your standard regardless of what's going on around you. You hold the standard. Hold your guys accountable to the standard that we set for ourselves. That's going to have to be a team-led thing. It's going to be hard for the coaches to come up with that. But Ryan Day has certainly got to be happy with the way his team has performed over the first 3 weeks of the season, because their standard, Gus, internally, it's as high as anybody's in the country.
Man, 51-10, the final score. Ohio State wins. Ryan Day now joins Urban Meyer and Earl Bruce as the only Ohio State coaches since World War II to win his first 6 games. And they did it convincingly today here in Bloomington. And our Jenny Taft is downstairs with Coach Day.
All right, guys, thank you. Coach Day, when you think of this win, what comes to mind, for me at least, is balance, offense, defense, special teams, a full team performance. What do you make of this one?
Well, we'll go back and look at the film, but I thought, to go on the road and get a win like this is the next step. It's a Big Ten win for us. I thought we ran the ball really well, especially in the first half. J.K. ran hard. And on defense, I thought we were swarming to the ball. Again, I thought we were tackling well, even when they got a few plays, and we were tackling really hard and then created some turnovers in the second half. And Special teams was solid. Obviously, the block punt changed everything in the first half.
Yeah. Speaking of Damon Arnett there, pick six, taking it to the house, 97 yards. There was such an urgency from the defense coming into this season. How impressed have you been with that secondary?
Yeah, they're off to a great start. I mean, they're having fun. They're creating turnovers, and I told him I almost ran down in the end zone and let him throw it up and let me punt it into the band, and he was excited about that. He's worked really, really hard. He actually, a couple plays before, he got something on his foot. He put himself right back in and makes a play. So tribute to him, tribute to Jeff Hafley and all the guys on defense.
Something interesting here with your team. From the outside looking in, it doesn't feel like you've had a lot of competition. Fields is clicking, the offense, defense. How do you maintain the standard at Ohio State as these next weeks continue?
Well, the issues are still there, and it takes mature players and mature coaches to find those issues, whether it's a lopsided win or not. And as the competition increases and we continue to play against really good teams like this, they're going to show up. So we have to make sure that we're finding those issues and addressing them.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you.
All right, Ohio State, big victory. Joe Klatt, your final thoughts.
That's one of the best teams in America, folks. Make no bones about it. They've got a great quarterback, an elite coach, and an unbelievable defense.
51-10, the final. Coming up after this short break, we'll get you back to LA for more post-game coverage.